Well, for my part, at least, and the few people that I know in this industry or in the Norwegian of the Norwegian scene, and the older boys that we have now become, all of us, a lot of these people are people that are really reflected, and they think they are very have a philosophical point of view to a lot of things, and so basically we spend a lot of time pondering about things, and I guess that's why it comes out that we speak a lot about things, because we've been thinking it through. So I guess that might be one of the reasons why people talk more. Well, that is up to every individual. To me, black metal is more of an art form, and that's how I perceive it. And then how for me, black metal doesn't need to be black clothes and spikes and dye your hair black. So black metal comes from the heart. It's a way of, it's an expression form for getting in touch with your primal roots and turn off the modern mind and just act on instincts. And all these features have been washed away by religions for years, you know. And it's interesting to go back and try and tap into it, control it, and use it in an artistic way, basically. When I talk about the primal instincts, the black metal side is then only focusing on the darker side of mankind, the thoughts of that hasn't been allowed, you know, the thought of a free man and the free will and all this stuff, and that's the huge reference into what is known as Satanism for religious people, basically, because you don't obey one God, you know, you make up your own mind, and this is not something that normal religions do, because you're going to follow the mind of one God. So that is the main issue, but it also boils down to exploring the human emotions in both directions. You don't know what happiness is if you don't know what true human darkness is, you know. So if you truly are happy, unless you go the opposite direction as well, and the further you go in each direction, the more you learn to know your mind, and also then how to control it and utilize it, basically. In the term of the word, as Satan is represented to be a rebellion against the one true God, I see myself as a rebellion, and hence that is what you can refer to as that. That's how I refer to Satanist. A Satanist is a rebellion, basically, and against the mind control.
Which mind control? Who's doing the mind control?
What is said in the Bible, that is the rules that all humans need to follow, and those rules are to control the masses. But, well, not in clear view, of course, but when you read it, it says like you should do this and this, and in the religious texts. I'm not a religious person. I don't fancy religions. I respect them if they respect me, and that's, well, every one of us have made up our own mind about it, and that's also why all the Norwegian black metal bands sound differently, because everybody has their own opinion and their own mind to it. No, it's not a hatred against Christianity. It's friends. But yeah, I know a couple of them. Well, that you can describe as a counter reaction to the society, the established society at the time. They wanted to stir up some things, whether or not it was they knew what they were doing, or if it was something that at least they got a lot of publicity out of it. The Infernal Pathway, it's the name of it. Well, that is what you want it to be, basically. It's for us. It has been a journey. The name of this album was to come up with it was really hard. When normally earlier we had the title much earlier in the process. Now it came to long after we had started recording and even had the lyrics done and everything. But after we had gone back and forth a lot, we ended up with this line that made sense. Listening to the material and reading through the lyrics, the Infernal Pathway made sense. Okay. We have a slogan for describing our music, which is oral hellfire, and it plays a bit on that side as well, and that in combination with the lyrics, we chose to go with that title.
Okay.
We work very differently, so it's so the guitar player is Eschaton. He's the one that has been writing the majority of the music, and so he comes to me with the sketches, then we put them together and we make a recording of it, and it's sent out to the other two, and then they listen to it, and then the drummer and the guitar player they meet up and they start putting things together. And everybody's inspired by different things, and this is where you can say the upside and the downside to being in a band is that you have 4 different individuals, and the end result is what you hear, but the road there can be difficult. Luckily this time everything fell in place pretty easily, and I don't know if that has to come with the fact that this is our 7th album, or if it's just that we're all pulling in the same direction. But it was a good recording process. He's done some covers for them. He's done for High on Fire, Sleep stuff. He has done, he's done a lot of things. Some Ruinous of Everast. He does a lot of both covers and merchandise artwork. He got that as well. I set him up with the ID. The ID came to me with a kind of a mask-like face, and with horns. So that's what I sent him some references on that, and a bit back and forth with him until he understood that it's not actually a mask. It's more like an ungodly face in a way. So it was a bit back and forth, but he cracked the code perfectly when he sent it over. The final sketch of it, and he started to paint it. It was it just looked right. 1349 has always been somewhat fans of chaos in a lot of aspects and ways, and the band is formed first and foremost as a counter-reaction to the direction that black metal took in the later half of the 90s. when a lot of synthesizers was used and orchestrated. So every black metal band should sound like they had a full orchestra on stage. I felt that this took away a lot of the grimness and the aggression that I really liked in the music. And that's why instead of complaining about black metal falling to pieces, I decided to form 1349.
Okay.
And from there on we just went our own way, and we have also purely been focusing on the musical side of it. That's why there were one of us with a church burning in our police records, because it has been that's how I came into black metal due to the music, and I liked the music. It touched something in me that I couldn't explain, and immediately when I heard it, it was something that this is something that I've been looking for. And the old slave churches, yes, of course, it's on heritage that is gone. But I mean, there were some. Was it in Afghanistan that they bombed away this huge monument? I guess it also has a little bit to do with the riot, like the punk riot was as well, that it is a rebellion against establishment and comfort, basically. That's one thing, and if you have a creative mind that spurs off and you don't know exactly in your youth, you don't know exactly what to utilize your creative talents, you know, so and if you have a lot of it, then it comes out in various ways until you learn to kind of direct it in the right direction. Sure. I guess that is a lot of the issues that happened. Plus that nobody saw it coming. You know, they, I guess, burn churches. It's, I mean, people murder with religion in hand, and religion is the basic fundament for religion is to. It's basically guidelines for people. But you misread it somewhere when you start to murder other people. I mean, the basic for religion is for people to have guidelines on how to live their lives. It is a dark world, and then to write about darker emotions, you know, that